it is not only about form, it is about the experience. When you're using a common data environment solution like a ZEPTH, the entire collaboration is happening through the platform. Our co-pilots are not only something from where you can seek insights, but you can drive actions as well. Over 2 decades of experience working on large-scale projects, it allows me to think as an end user and not as a founder of a tech company.
And what do you think is the future?
The problem now is that even a substandard architect now can position himself as a great architect. Right?
That's also a lot because of media, but
Yes.
In today's episode of Beyond Borders, we have with us Prasoon Srivastava. AI is definitely everywhere. We have AI festivals in Dubai. We have AI companies doing so where we have an entire AI campus. But very specific to architecture and construction industry is what you do, right?
Yes.
Because it's such a vast ocean. So let's start with how you entered this space with ZEPTH.
Okay. So there are 2 elements, right?
Right.
Let me also talk about what is ZEPTH all about, and then we
Correct.
talk about AI. In construction, if you want to really successfully deliver a building project, there are 2 major elements. One is the design phase, and another is the construction phase,
Correct.
right? In the design phase, there is whole revolution going on when it comes to design and how AI is impacting the design workflow. And in construction, all you have to do is to make sure that you can efficiently deliver the project.
True.
Now, ZEPTH was founded with the vision that we need to have tools at our hand, at our disposal to deliver projects efficiently, right? A large project is very complex. There are so many stakeholders, thousands of people working, so much of collaboration going on, and there's always a fragmented ecosystem which is impacting the project delivery.
Correct.
So whether you want to make sure that project is delivered on time, within the quality, the team can seamlessly collaborate, the risks are managed properly, the cost is always under control. All these elements, if
And I feel also timeline, right? Because
timelines,
that's
correct.
a huge factor.
The program has a huge impact. It impacts the reputation, it impacts the cost, and impacts the overall project. With that vision to solve this problem, I decided to found ZEPTH, right? And ZEPTH is a common data environment. So what we do is we have built multiple modules and solutions where we can deliver the projects. Now, what AI has done for us under construction life cycle is that AI is now bringing in a lot of productivity and efficiency within the ecosystem, right?
Right.
Now, it is giving us great insights. A co-pilot is a default feature that anybody has.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
Now, the
yeah.
co-pilot is no more,
It's an open source,
it's
yeah.
open source. And you need to have a co-pilot.
Right.
But what that co-pilot can do really makes an impact, right?
Absolutely.
So our co-pilots are not only something from where you can seek insights, but you can drive actions as well.
Right. And I'm sure the it's trained for the very specific task.
It works on, yes. So it works on the database of ZEPTH.
Correct.
Right. And my vision is very clear that one single solution cannot be a solution for construction management.
True.
So what we've done is we've built multiple AI solutions
Okay.
to make sure that we can bring in productivity and efficiency. So we have one co-pilot, but at the same time, we have got multiple AI agents working in the background to manage risk. Then we have got special AI agents, like I have an agent for contract management, where you can discuss only about your contract and contract related issues.
Right.
We have an agent for safety code, Dubai safety code. We have an agent for Dubai building code. We have an agent for Dubai green building codes.
Oh, wow. So they're all trained in different
they
aspects
are only,
of this.
yes. So they are super specialized agents. They only talk about the codes and your project and how it is impacting or complying or not complying to the regulations. We've got risk management. We've got DocuChat. We have something that nobody is doing in the world is a sentiment analysis. Now, one thing that we forget.
But that's very risky, right?
It is not. So I tell you what, when you're using a common data environment solution like ZEPTH, the entire collaboration is happening through the platform.
Okay.
So now, what we never factor in our project delivery is a human bias. If there is a lot of agitation, dissatisfaction within the team, there is a risk coming your way.
And a delay.
Right, and a delay and an impact on anything, cost, time, whatever. But there's no way to kind of assess that. There's no qualitative way of knowing that there is a poor sentiment on a project. We have used AI to build a AI dashboard, qualitative dashboard on sentiment. So it tells you, a cloud tells you whether there's a unhappiness or dissatisfaction or happiness. And that's how you know that, if things are not going your way, then it is a precursor to any risk coming to your project.
That's a brilliant feature,
Yes.
And again, like, I've never heard of it.
Correct.
It looks and sounds very, very original
is.
in
It is
today's
indeed.
world, where
It is indeed.
we're all
the another, I would not shy away of saying that some of the things that we do is because of my experience in the industry, right?
right.
Over 2 decades of experience working on large scale projects.
Yeah.
It allows me to think as an end user and not as a founder of a tech company, right? So whenever we build a solution, I'm always thinking that if it is for me as an end user, whether it adds value or not. And that's why I feel that we always create really great products.
Yeah, and architects getting into tech space has become a common theme now, me being one subtle plugin. So, Prasoon, with this very interesting thing, there are all kinds of project sizes, right? Like, what are the average project size? Like you said, bigger teams and bigger collaborations, their sentiment analysis is definitely an amazing tool to have. But what are the project sizes that you guys work on?
So, I would say the average project size in terms of cost of construction, let's say, for example, is 400 to 500 million dirhams.
Right.
That's where our average is right now. Now, this could be a 50, 60 story tower that we're working on. This could be a low-rise structure, but a super high-end luxury kind of a project. And therefore, the cost of construction is very high. So, for example, we built something, we just recently designed and finished a design something for Neom.
Right.
Where the in Saudi Arabia, and on the city of Magna, they're building these super high-end luxury villas, and they invited top designers from the world to design, and we were one of them. And we built something crazy in terms of design. One, the brief was that something never been done before, kind of a brief. But at the same time, the cost of construction is also 20 times higher than average cost out there in the market. So that kind of stuff.
Wow. So and can you give us a story of any one project where AI solved a major issue and really helped build the project and save costs?
So I'll give you a couple of examples. There is an design side and then one on the construction side, right? On the design side, AI is making a huge impact through generative design. All of us know that, right? And especially when it comes to ideating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is where I think architects can really leverage AI tools to ideate and then translate those ideation into initial concept. And then further, as we are moving, there's so much of stuff happening, translating your ideas into 3D models, image to 3D models, and then from image to 3D models, then using the scripts and converting into BIM models, and then going all the way. So, and we do all that stuff. We experiment on so many things. I think there's still some technology evolution yet to happen from image to 3D part, but rest of it, we are doing a lot. Now, on the construction,
that's why we still have work.
Correct.
Because that entire thing will be automated.
Exactly. I mean, with all the NVIDIA models coming in from image to 3D models.
With product design, I have tried. It works well with individual products, but space, it's still learning.
And then there are so many new age startups coming up, which are challenging the status quo of, let's say, an Autodesk product or a Rhino or etc., where using generative designs, you can create n number of options in no time.
Correct.
And all these things, I think.
And for a small mid-sized firm to prepare those concept presentations, it's time saving and cost saving at the same time.
Correct. Exactly.
So AI, we are definitely losing our jobs to
Absolutely.
AI. That's not
And on the construction side, getting project insights, as I mentioned about different tools,
Yeah, yeah.
especially a 50-story tower that we are supervising in
Mhm.
Dubai. There we could use AI. And I'll give you an example that, in one project, I really wanted to hold on to a contractor's payment
Okay.
because there were certain things that he was not doing, and I spoke to my agent and I said, listen, I think these are non-compliances. We should hold on to the payment.
Right.
Please write a letter, draft a letter for me to do that, because it is a contract manager expert. It said you cannot do that. Contract doesn't allow you to do that. And I
Oh,
said,
okay.
but I want to do this. He said, no, but there is no provision to stop the payment.
Oh.
All you can do is write a letter warning him that things may get slow and you're not
Yeah.
allowed. And then I referred to the contract documents. It was true that I cannot stop the payment.
Wow.
So I would have done something which is not aligned with the contract conditions if it was AI helping me or assisting me. And then I followed that. So, we are solving a lot of problems using AI.
That's amazing. I mean, smallest of things that we tend to overlook. Can't review contracts all the time, right? Like we do
Exactly.
need an assistant to go
Exactly.
through it. And if we had to do the same thing manually, it would, I don't know, take up like 2 to 3
you know,
working days, not have that accuracy.
The problem is that we do not have the habits of referring to the documents all the time.
True.
And there's a human bias and a gut feeling, and you end up writing things.
Yeah.
But when you're working on large scale projects, it has to be very structured, always refer to the right documents, contracts. And so I think all these, and that's why I mentioned productivity, efficiency. That's where AI is making a huge impact.
That's amazing. And these are the few use cases that have really been, that need to be highlighted.
Absolutely.
Because all people know as of now is ChatGPT, Kimi, DeepSeek, which are okay, mass available. And of course, they help you out.
Unfortunately, all the AI events and the buzz that is happening around all of us, nobody's doing much but only talking about it.
Yes, yes, absolutely,
Right?
Absolutely.
But we are the ones who are really implementing out there. We are gauging the impact by using them on our projects. And we know that AI can make a huge impact.
Huge impact. And you have case studies to show.
Exactly. As I said, there is no one solution for all the problems. You need to build smaller application layers over your solution to make sure that you can add value.
So, I mean, yes, we've spoken a lot about, how your journey has evolved. In the past few years, it's been all about technology and AI. Will this continue? And what do you think is the future? So, for young working architects, what would you suggest?
So, I would say there's a good thing that has happened and there's a bad thing that has happened.
Right.
The good thing is that now it's a level playing field, right?
Correct.
Earlier in the day, only the big companies had access to some tech and they would do something and they will become Zahadid of the world, right? But the smaller companies or the smaller founders who had the vision but did not have access to technology. It's a level playing field. Anyone can create or generate any kind of complex form,
and
design,
the entry
and
barrier
experience
is very low.
The problem now is that even a substandard architect now can position himself as a great architect.
Right? That's also a lot because of media. But
yes. So now, even if you don't understand what is design,
true.
You can create some kind of form and say, this is my design. But it is not only about form. It is about the experience.
Yeah.
Right? Unfortunately, most of the architects do not realize how experience plays an important role in a design.
Absolutely.
Right? Either they only look at the facade or they only look at certain elements or efficiency. But you don't talk about the touch points of the user journey. That how do I have my arrival experience? What is my first touch point, second touch point, and so on and so forth. So I think that is the sad part, that even someone who doesn't understand,
they can prompt and
they can
build
create something and say, and I'm a great
in
architect, and people appreciate that.
But do you think in execution there will be a problem, right? Like if they
it
won't
will be, but someone, some poor chap, some poor client will end up losing money because of that reason. Now, where I think the world is moving, the world is moving towards AI-based agentic deliveries of design. Now, we all know as an architect that the delivery of a project is quite a complex task. From initial concept, pre-concept, which is fairly an easy thing.
Yeah.
When you get into the detail of schematics, design development, tender documentation, is so many thousands of man hours that goes into make sure that you create the right documents.
Correct.
To avoid variations, to ensure they are well coordinated, to make sure that there are no extra cost at the time of construction.
Right.
Now AI is able to help this problem to be solved, right?
Correct.
So now you can use AI to generate these designs, so less number of man hours. Maybe today you're not able to do so much, but in the very near future you will be able to do it and create best-in-class documents for your project deliveries.
And in a very short timeline.
In no
So,
time.
Which is
exactly.
Which is, I think, a huge. I mean, you end up doing more stuff, right?
Correct. So now imagine a developer who would say that I will have a 6-month or a 8-month design cycle would probably be able to do it in 3 months, couple of years down the line.
I think that kind of summarizes, what you are doing and what the future looks like. And if somebody wants to go to ZEPTH and use ZEPTH, so is this more of a subscription model or is an enterprise
Correct.
solution?
So it's a annual subscription model on project basis. So people can reach out. We engage with them on free trial basis. They can try it out, experience themselves. Now next month we are launching in US as well, so we are expanding and we are launching in the US, and we are hoping that we can be in the forefront of this AI transformation.
That's amazing, and I think there are very few players which have a niche of construction. Absolutely. And building this. So wishing you luck.
Thank you so much.